My name is David Fleming from Disciples Ignited, and we are studying gems in the Gospel of John, devotional thoughts throughout the Gospel of John. Now, today we're talking once again about a verse in John chapter 20, which is telling us about the resurrection of Jesus. Now, today I'm going to be reading to you John chapter 20, verses 11 through 14, and we're going to be talking about how Jesus is with you. That's right, right now. Jesus Christ, the living God, is with you. Now remember that everybody that first experienced Jesus' resurrection was Jewish, and that means that they had been raised in the Old Testament. They knew the books of Moses, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. They knew that God had promised that he is always going to be with them. In fact, one of my favorite verses is Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 8. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. And so they realized that God, because he's God, is able to be with each individual. And in fact, not only be with them, but at the very same time, go before them. And so they understood this. But yet, though they had been with Jesus for a little over 3 years, being taught by Jesus and being prepared by Jesus to be his representatives upon the earth, and they knew that he was Messiah, that he was God who had come in the flesh, they lost sight of the fact that this Old Testament prophecy, this Old Testament promise that I am with you always, was still true. Because after Jesus died and now he's raised from the dead, they don't know what's happening. Now, we've just studied about how Peter and John, they went to the tomb and they saw that Jesus was gone, and then they truly began to believe that Jesus had been raised from the dead. But Mary was the first one to go to the tomb, and she has yet to truly believe this. So let's read in John chapter 20, verses 11 through 14, and find out what happens to Mary. Now Mary stood outside the tomb crying. As she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb and saw 2 angels in white seated where Jesus' body had been, one at the head and the other at the foot. They asked her, "Woman, why are you crying?" "They have taken my Lord away," she said, "and I don't know where they have put him." At this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not realize that it was Jesus. So Jesus was with her the entire time, but she didn't know it. Somehow he had changed how he looked, and she just didn't know that it was him. But I want to encourage you with this, my friends. Jesus told them even previous to his crucifixion, he said, I will be with you always. And then they had that promise in Deuteronomy 31:7, the Lord himself is with you. He will go before you. He'll never leave you nor forsake you. So they knew that God is ever present. But Mary lost sight of this, and she didn't know that Jesus was with her. Why didn't she know that? Well, she was basing her faith on what she saw. And we can't do that. Our faith has got to be based on what God has told us in his word. Jesus has told us, I am with you always. He has promised us in Deuteronomy 31, verse 7, the Lord himself is with you. He will go before you. He'll never leave you nor forsake you. So we have the promise in God's word that he is going to be with us every day, 24/7, 365 days out of the year. He'll be with us always. So what do we learn from this? We can't base what we believe on what we see or even what we're experiencing at the moment, because our experiences can change all the time throughout the day. So let's put our faith in Jesus. Let's realize he is with me right now. Even in the trouble I'm going through, Jesus is with me. He'll never leave me nor forsake me. That, my friend, is a faith is going to take you places with Jesus. Because when you can believe him beyond what you can see, he knows that he can trust you and use you to do great things in his kingdom. So put your faith in Jesus, not in your feelings. And let's see what God's going to do in your life. And join with me again tomorrow as we study another gem in the Gospel of John. See you then. Bye-bye now.